Hi, it's Miles Red Songbird in New York City. I think I said Berg. Bird. And you're looking at Govinda Singh Ji, the king of the cosmos, along with the daughter of the sun, the queen of the universe, Miles Red Songbird, Evangeline Einstein. I'm sitting here with my friend, Trevor Jew, who I've known for about 3 years. This is where Govinda Singh, he heads the Dara. This is a picture of the Dara. It's heaven on earth. And he's given us a book to emulate heaven on earth. We can make heaven on earth America as well. So I met Trevor Jew when I was at Main Chance, the hellhole of walk-in centers. I was on the street. I didn't know anything about walk-in centers or homeless shelters or anything like that. And somebody told me about Main Chance. So I was walking there with my baggage, and this Puerto Rican college student came up and took my bag and walked me there and helped me find the place. Okay, it was better than being on the street, because instead of sleeping in Penn Station on the floor with the other homeless people till they routed you and made you get the hell out of there, you were able to sleep in chairs. And instead of having no food, you had a little bit of food. Not enough food, but you had some food, free. And you slept in chairs, and your feet got swollen because they were down, on the floor. And they talked to you like you were dogs and slaves and piece of shit. And so it was pretty awful. And this one woman really hated me because I was always writing. I was positive. I was productive. She was an angry black woman, fat, from Harlem, and she hated me. So she followed me and pick up that book and don't do this and don't do this. And I remember one day I came in with a small miniature statue of Jesus Christ I had gotten at the Goodwill. And she said, "You can't bring that in here." And she said, it has to go, or you can't come in here. So all the girls had really liked it, the other girls who lived there. And they liked looking at his sandals and looking at, his hair, and it was beautifully carved. I just tossed it in the garbage can. And then she came upstairs, and there was a Muslim man praying. And she didn't say anything to him. Christianity can't come in, but Islam can. So you see, it was a horror story. So anyway, I noticed Trevor Drew, who is my son in the previous life, who is here with me today. And I noticed that he was an architect. And what an architect! All these people who do nothing but watch television and talk about trivial matters. He had a job as a home inspector, and he was an architect, and he was an author. He had a book of poetry published. Wow, I was so impressed. So we became fast friends. Then after a while, and he opened my eyes to the fact that there were smart people down there on the bottom, because I knew I was smart. I had a book out, Sneezes the Greasy Babies is Abigail. I had been a lyricist for Edwin Birdsong and Roy Ayers. And so I knew I was smart too. So I didn't know he was my son till 3 years later, after I started finding my family and realizing who they were, and realizing there's no such thing as a coincidence. The people in your life are there because you are attached to one another, very often because you're family. That's what Vice President Mike Pence said when the after the election, he said, "Who am I and where is my family?" Okay, so I have been finding out who I am. I have found about 50 identities, many of them impressive people who made huge contributions to the culture, who I loved and had not a clue they were a part of me. And I found my family, like I said, Trevor Drew is my son. Trevor, you want to look at the camera? See, he's a good-looking man. He's an architect, an author, and a home inspector. Anything else? Oh, and he has a gift of prophecy.
Yeah, and a motivational speaker.
And he's a motivational speaker, so he's amazing. And what he did was he got into Oliveri, and which is a nice walk-in center. They speak to you like you're a human being. They feed you plenty of food. You do have to sleep in chairs, but if you get registered with them as permanent, they send you to church beds where you do sleep in a bed and you can take a shower, and they treat you. The volunteers are just heavenly, the Christian volunteers, and Jewish, so you go to the temple too. They are so helpful and so sweet to you and so kind to you and so filled with compassion. So Trevor got me in Oliveri's. First he took some of my belongings, because at Main Chance you have to schlep around your belongings. They don't have lockers. Oliveri had lockers, so Trevor took some of my belongings into his locker. And then he got me an Oliveri, so I was eternally grateful. And I remember when I was sleeping on the floor of Chase Manhattan Bank ATM, one day they called the cops on me. And the cop said, "Listen, lady, you remind me of my mother. I don't like to see this. Let me take you. Do you want to go to jail or do you want to go to hospital?" And I said, "What hospital?" And he said, "Bellevue." And I said, "Oh, take me to Bellevue." So I was in Bellevue for about a month, and I got a clean bed, I got food, and it was rejuvenating. And Trevor Drew was the only person who came to visit me, and not only did he come to visit me, he came to visit me twice. And I still didn't know he was my son. I just knew I felt friendly and toward him, and I felt close to him. So that's that story. I wanted to, let's see what I'll have. Okay, I'll have more time. I want to tell you about some words I decoded. Let's see, where do we begin? Let's do mysticism. Mysticism. My saint, S-T for saint, I see is me. Okay? Mirrored. Mild Red. That's my name. One of my many names. Mild Red Songbird. Me, her. Me, her. Her order. Energy. Divine. Divine decoded. Double victory in Nietzsche. Energy. Energy, Einstein, Evangeline. Einstein means use your brain. These are messages in the words, okay? Attend to stars, Evangeline. She was a gifted astrologer. Saint A. Radhasamy. Okay, where is that? Saint A. Radhasamy. Oh, so there it is, stars. S-T for Saint, A-R-S for Radhasamy. Radhasamy means Lord of the Soul. Okay? So Evangeline is Lord of her soul. Meaning she's not possessed by other energies. She's in charge. Okay, we decode the word magical. Ma, a girl. C, Albert Einstein. Evangeline, Eve. Will. L is for will. Ma, a girl, I see Albert Einstein's will. Okay, so Evangeline's in the same body as Albert Einstein and as Eve. Okay. So what they call magic is nothing more than Albert Einstein's will and the other energies in her body. Miles Red's body, Eve's body. Consciousness decoded. C. Ordered Nietzsche. Science. IOU-US. Nietzsche Energy. Serious Secrets. Okay. C. Energy and Secrets Decoded. C. Energy. What is that word? C. C. Energy. She. Her. E.T. Extraterrestrial. From the sun. Evangeline Einstein. Eve. Miles Red Songbird. Either she's an E.T. She's an extraterrestrial. She originated in the sun. She's from the sun, from the star, the sun, another planet they call it. It's a star. Sun source, okay? Source. See our race. Okay, race decoded. Her R energy. Oh, that's ACE, ACE. Her ACE energy. Einstein Evangeline. Okay? And you know what ACE means, a master. She's a master of energy. She reads energy. She wills energy as well. Now this says, every single citizen will be harmed by such a radical shift in American culture and life. Virtually everywhere it has been tried, socialism has brought suffering, misery, and decay. Donald Trump, October 10th, 2018. Okay, what else? Jordan B. Peterson, I'm reading his book, 12 Rules for Life, An Antidote to Chaos. Trevor is reading Donald Trump's book, Money Master.
Tony Robbins.
The game.
Tony Robbins.
Well, who did I say?
Donald Trump.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Tony Robbins' book. Master. Money. Master the Game. Donald Trump has written some books, too, you might want to read, like The Art of the Deal. Okay, so Jordan B. Peterson, the present magic of consciousness, he mentions in a sentence. Consciousness is magic. We showed you it was Einstein's will on the previous page. Consciousness. Because we decoded it. Okay, what does it say? We only see what we aim at. The rest of the world, and that's most of it, is hidden. Okay, I decoded hidden. Hidden. Eden. The Garden of Eden. Einstein's den. Because Einstein was Eve in the Garden of Eden. Now we decode den. Divine energy Nietzsche. Okay, and then started, we decode that. Saint, art, energy, Eve, defined. Okay, so we defined Eve's energy. She was in the Eden Nietzsche, divine energy. Her energy is divine. That's how you define it. The divine. If we start aiming at something different, something like, I want my life to be better, our minds will start presenting us with new information derived from the previously hidden world. Okay, world. Let's see how we do that. Her ID. Oh, that's hidden. Her